In the meantime, I did want to keep you abreast of some other developments here in the political world. This big showdown in Florida right now. If you think of Florida's governor's race, you have Republican Ron DeSantis backed by Donald Trump. Out of the blue, you have a Bernie Sanders-backed candidate, Andrew Gillum, both winning their primaries. And this is sort of like the battle royale. What could it portend for November? To Real Clear Politics co-founder Tom Bevan. Tom, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is certainly one of the marquee races in the country in terms of governor's races. And look, Gillum's victory was a big shock. I mean, Gwen Graham was supposed to win this race. She was ahead in all the polls. But there were a large number, 20 to 25% of undecideds. And a lot of those folks, I think, broke for Gillum. He racked up votes in Dade and Broward County among minority voters, African-American voters. And it proved to be the difference for him. And so you're right. We do have a Bernie-backed George Soros sort of left wing. He's full on Medicare for all, abolish ICE, raise corporate income tax in the state of Florida versus, you know, the Trump-backed Ron DeSantis, who, again, just a couple of months ago, he was trailing in the polls. Everybody thought Adam Putnam was a shoo-in to win that race. And with Trump's support and with a strong debate performance, he really turned that race around and won it going away.
You know, you mentioned the president. He has had a role now, directly or indirectly, in backing, you know, some 37 different individuals leading up to, and at this point in the midterms, 34 of them have gone on to win, capture their nomination, or put their opponents aside in general. That's a pretty good batting average, and one that Republicans will no doubt be tempted to utilize this fall. But it could work both ways. A controversy could develop and potentially hurt you. How's it going to play out?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. Certainly, Trump has been able to move the needle in a significant way in the Republican primaries. He's had a more mixed results in these special elections. Remember, he went and campaigned for up in Pennsylvania 18. He campaigned in the Alabama special Senate race. So not as much success. And so it's certainly going to work to Republicans' advantage in some places around the country, a little bit less in some others. So it'll be interesting to see. Trump said just today he's going to be, or Kellyanne Conway said earlier today, that he's going to be on the road 40 out of the next 70 days campaigning for Republican candidates. So he's going to give it his best college try. And we'll see if that's able to motivate some of the. We know Trump voters will turn out for Trump-backed candidates in these primaries, but whether he can turn them out in the general election is a different story. We'll see.
You know, we had progress on the trade front today. Reports of it, Tom, as you've heard, that the Canadians are in town and moving fast to get on board that Mexico-U.S. deal. So let me just give you a hypothetical. If we're able to score a deal with the Canadians after having, you know, have a watered-down deal, but a deal nevertheless with the South Koreans, a promised one with the Europeans, the Chinese, you know, really cornered now to have to do something or concede something. It could be going the president's way. Would that remove one last wrinkle and concern for voters, particularly Republicans who've been very, very leery that this thing is backfiring on them?
Sure. I mean, that was one of the concerns that Republicans had, is that the tariff and the trade war and all that stuff was going to pinch Republican voters, right? Trump backers, farmers in the Midwest and other places, and with their crops coming due, all that this could really hurt at the polls in November. I think this movement will help that. It might also help among independents. I mean, they are seeing, you know, to have some of those worries put aside, to see the sort of over 4% economic growth, that could move some independents in Republicans' directions around the country, and that would be, for them, a good thing because, you know, Democrats are going to turn out. There's no question about that. The question is whether Republicans are going to turn out and which way independents might swing in the end. So, obviously, good economic news is going to benefit Republicans and the president in the short term.
What happened, if you don't mind, by going back to Florida in the case of Andrew Gillum, the Tallahassee mayor, who came out of nowhere? He was trailing substantially in the polls. But to your point, a quarter of those polls hadn't made up their mind. They were undecided. So something swung in his favor in the final days. And I'm wondering if it's akin to what has happened in some of these other races in New York with Cortez and some of these others. What is going on here? And is that where the passion of the party lies?
Absolutely. I mean, the passion, the energy, and the enthusiasm is with the sort of progressive left-wing base. And we've seen that manifest itself. You mentioned Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and some other places, but in congressional districts, right? Not in a state as big and diverse as Florida. Yeah. And again, he racked up these votes in the southern part of Florida. That's where the battleground is going to be, certainly for Democrats turning out those votes. I would also make one point, Neil, which is I think this really helps Rick Scott in that key Senate race against Bill Nelson in Florida, because you now have Ron DeSantis. He's a Trump-backed candidate, so he's going to turn out Republican voters, Trump voters. If it had been Adam Putnam, a guy who Trump voters weren't as excited about, that could have depressed the vote for Rick Scott. So I think Rick Scott is in better position now than he was last night, and that could be. He's running very well against Bill Nelson right now, and if Republicans can flip that seat, that really complicates Democrats' chances of winning back the Senate majority.
By the way, what is your latest call on that? The Senate was always going to be tough. The House, I had Newt Gingrich with me yesterday talking about, forget about Democrats taking the House. Republicans are going to add to their numbers there. So that's another extreme view. But what do you think?
Right now, I mean, we don't have a lot of polling data in some of these races, Indiana in particular, but right now, if you took where the polls stand right now and allocated them, and some of these races, Neil, are coin tosses, right? Candidates are ahead by less than 1%. There would be no change in the Senate, though. You'd have some Democrats hold on in some of these red states, and you'd have Republicans win a couple of these red states, and there would be no change as of today, but obviously a lot of race still to run.
All right. We'll watch closely. Thank you very, very much. Tom Bevan,